What's up, guys? Pyromaniac720 here, and I have for you top 4 versus Jeff Falberg, aka Shinkou. I played him in Swiss. He beat me 4-0? No, he beat me 3-0. I ended up counting as Gnostic. Oh no, 2-0. I got down to 2-0. That's right. Alright. So he only beat me 2-0 in Swiss. But he ended up being undefeated in Swiss also. I think all 3 losses of the top cut people were to him. So his team's pretty good. I just had to try and make some adjustments and hope for the best. So game 1, my thought was I just won't bring Trick Room. I'm gonna see how that works out. So I end up leading Amoonguss and Star Raptor, I think. So I like this team because I do have an out of Trick Room mode with Gardevoir can work out of Trick Room. Amoonguss works out of Trick Room for redirection, and Rotom Heat and Star Raptor both work out of Trick Room. So I have 4 Pokemon that can really perform well out of Trick Room. And because my Ampharos is so bulky, it's also pretty good out of Trick Room, especially when I was running Ally Switch Gardevoir. So right off the bat, I Rage Powder because I'm like scared of Charm. And it ends up going for the Swagger instead. And Swagger's my Amoonguss. So I could have Spored turn 1, but I was concerned about I was basically concerned about Safeguard going up. So out comes my own Rotom. So he ends up going for the Thunderbolt and onto Amoonguss. I forgot I had Rage Powder up, so the reason I switched to my Amoonguss was, or sorry, the reason I switched to my Rotom Heat was to take the Thunderbolt, but I completely forgot about Rage Powder, which was bad on my part. So Rotom goes for the Overheat, really trying to get that Meowstic off the field, because if I can do that, then I'm in good shape. And I had to pick up the KO, which is nice. Unfortunately, though, I have Spore and I have Will-O-Wisp, but I can't use either of them because Safeguard's up. He ends up going for the Hydro Pump on my Rotom Heat, which, good to know, survives. So that's good to know for any future matches. And also, of course, his Tyranitar comes out. At least he can't Safe Swag it, but I also can't burn it, so it's kind of an issue. At this point in the match, I'm feeling kind of concerned about where I'm at, because I can't really do much to that Tyranitar. So I go for the Thunderbolt onto his Rotom. He goes for the Will-O-Wisp onto my Amoonguss, and it misses. And he goes for the Rock Slide. Of course, he's going to KO Rotom from that range, easily. Does a huge chunk of damage to Amoonguss, since my Amoonguss is more specially defensive. I end up going for the Giga Drain onto Rotom Wash, but it doesn't matter because I hit myself in Confusion. So at this point in the match, I am definitely in trouble. Because I want to go for the close combat on Tyranitar, because that put me in good shape, I think. But at the same time, he's probably just going to protect and KO me with Thunderbolt. So I kind of anticipate the fact that he's going to protect. And I go for the Double Edge instead onto Rotom Heat. And I'm adamant, just so you guys, I'm adamant Scarf. So I'm not Bandit or anything. So I don't know how much, I honestly had never Double Edged a Rotom, so I don't know how much it does. But I find out that it doesn't do enough to KO, unfortunately, which really sucks. It activates his Citrus Berry. And of course, I really don't have any chance of surviving a Thunderbolt, so one thing I probably could have done is I could have U-turned into Amoonguss. So I could have switched out Amoonguss for Pangoro, and then U-turned into Amoonguss, but that would have been a good play, but I didn't think of that until after, because then I could have had another Intimidate coming off. So Amoonguss comes in with his 41 health. I do not have Regenerator, I have Effect Spore, so it kind of ended up costing me in this match. So I protect Amoonguss because I know I need to KO that Tyranitar to have a chance. And he ends up burning Pangoro, which really sucks. He goes for the Rock Slide. Amoonguss protects itself, hits Pangoro, so I just am praying that Pangoro doesn't flinch. Unfortunately, Pangoro ends up flinching, which is huge for him because now I can't. I have to just take a Rock Slide, hope it misses. Otherwise, I would have been in decent shape for the rest of the match. I would have had a 2v2 with a Rotom Heat, or sorry, a a Rotom Wash and whatever he had in the back. So he protects and goes for another Rock Slide. And at 28 HP, it's going to easily KO Moongus, unfortunately. So at this point in the match, I just need a miracle. I go for the Hammer Arm, and I find out that a burned Pangoro one-hit KOs Mega Tyranitar with Hammer Arm, which is really cool. I'm gonna keep that in mind in case I get charmed in a match or something. But it doesn't matter now. I have one Pokemon. He's got two, and Pangoro's. It's Brave. I don't know what its speed is. It's not 0, but it's slower. I just know it's slower than Mega Mawile. So he ends up sending out his Talonflame, which is the end-all be-all for our match. Otherwise, I think I might have had a chance, to be honest, because it would have been a 2v1, and I think it would have been close. With the fact that he had Talonflame in the back, probably screwed me. I think that probably won him the match, but regardless of that flinch. But I think it would have been interesting to see how it would have played out in the end, because I would have had a Pangoro and a Moongus versus Talonflame and Rotom Wash. So that's my Game 1 top 4 match versus Jeff Falberg. So stay tuned for Game 2.